Hello, good morning, traders. I want to welcome us to a brand
Good morning,
new
sir.
trading week. Morning, sir. I'm sure we had a great weekend.
Yeah, I did.
All
Good
right,
morning,
that's
sir.
morning, ma. That's good to hear.
How was the weekend?
Very, very fine. Thank you, ma.
Thank God, sir. Thank God. Happy to see you again.
Yeah,
Happy
I'm
to
good
you
to hear
again.
everybody's voice. So let's get
Okay, sir.
started. So this week, today's 19th of August. We're gradually winding up for the month again. By the end of this week, that should be the end of the week. Should be, let me check, should be 23rd. So the month of August will end by next week, Friday. So we have just 2 full weeks, to round up this month. Let me check. Okay, morning, Mr. Oluwatoba Adeogun. Good morning, Mr. John. All right.
Good
I think
morning, sir.
morning, sir. Good to see you here. Okay, so let's look at what we have for this week fundamentally. Then we'll look at also the weekly outlook. Good morning, MK. So this week we have quite a number of fundamental events. Though today we have just one, which is not really tradable. Morning, Wasu Shubandi. By 2:15 p.m. this afternoon, we have FOMC member Waller is going to give a speech, and that's from the United States. It may bring some spike and volatility in the market, but we don't know what direction yet, since it's not really a tradable event like that. So it's as good that we don't have any event, but just be careful if you have any running trade around 2:15 p.m. because there could be spikes due to the speech from the FOMC member Waller. Now tomorrow, a lot of activities will kick off, and by 2:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, we have monetary policy meeting minutes, from Australia. It's a medium impact event, and let me just focus on important ones. By 1:30 p.m. tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of volatility because we're going to have the CPI from Canada. CPI is Consumer Price Index, is one of the major economic indicators in the FX market. So we have the CPI monthly, this median CPI yearly, trim CPI yearly, and the common CPI. Everything is CPI. 4 events happening simultaneously tomorrow by 1:30 p.m. 3 of them are high impact, 1 is medium impact. So generally we expect volatility, by 1:30 p.m. tomorrow from Canada. So take note of that event because it will be a time to take advantage of the markets to make some good profit. And on Wednesday morning, okay, Wednesday we don't have any tradable event. The only one will be by 7 p.m. and that will be FOMC meeting minutes. All right. FOMC meeting minutes will be released by 7 p.m. on Wednesday. So let's watch out. So during the day, that means we can do pure technical trading without, having any fear whatsoever. And on Thursday, we have the Thursday is the flash day, flash manufacturing PMI from the Eurozone. That's the French flash manufacturing PMI, French flash services PMI by 8:15 a.m. So we expect volatility on the euro by 8:15. And by 8:30 also, German flash manufacturing PMI, German flash services PMI. So volatility is expected in the Eurozone between 8:15 and even 9 a.m. Again, we have the flash manufacturing PMI, flash services. So a lot of volatility is expected on the euro between 8:15 and 9 a.m. on Thursday. So we should take note of that. And by 9:30 a.m. on Thursday, we have the flash manufacturing and flash services PMI from the United Kingdom. So that will affect the GBP pairs. And by 1:30 p.m. on that Thursday, there'll be unemployment claims. And 2:45 flash manufacturing PMI from the United States, flash services PMI from the United States. In fact, I will advise not to bother to do any technical trading on Thursday because it's just filled with a lot of fundamental events. By 3 p.m., existing home sales. Okay, then there's Jackson Hole Symposium. That is all day. So Thursday is the day filled with purely fundamental activities. If you don't want to trade fundamentals, then I would just advise just go and get something else. Just take a break off because even fundamental will just, it's just keep pushing the market from 8:15 to 9:30. The effect of the 9:30 news may last till 10, 11 thereabouts, and by 1:30, there's a news from the US again till 2:45, which will span till around 3 o'clock when you have existing home sales. So Thursday is purely a fundamental day. Let's just have that at the back of our mind. And on Friday, by 1:30 p.m., we have powerful news again from Canada, and that's core retail sales and retail sales. And by 3 p.m. on Friday, we have the Fed Chair Powell is going to give a speech. And same, that's 3 p.m. And same 3 p.m. we have new home sales. So these are just the major news, that we should expect. So we're expecting a lot of volatility. I see repetition on Canada, CPI, core retail sales. So a lot of, and these are highly volatile events. So we expect a lot of volatility from the CAD this week. We expect a lot from the US and from the Eurozone. So let's put this at the back of our minds as we plan to trade for this week. All right, with that being said, I'll flip over now to the MetaTrader to look at the technicals and what we should expect technically for this week. Okay, there are a lot of setup I have here, but I'll start with the Euro USD. Though the dollar seems to be giving some vibe now, but I believe it will calm down very soon. Now, for the Euro USD, what I'm seeing currently on the Euro USD, I'm seeing price, trading around a descending trend line. A descending trend line on the weekly time frame. Price is trending down. Technically, that should give us a bearish outlook. And coincidentally, we equally have a resistance at that same spot, giving us a confluence. That should also lead to a bearish movement. So if you flip down to the daily, you can see this is a confluence zone, trend line from weekly and resistance. And if you flip down to 4-hour, you can still see that is a confluence zone. The current candle on the 4-hour is looking a little like a rejection candle. And let's take it down to 1 hour. Okay, this is what we have on the 1 hour, 15 minutes. But then it all depends. If this turns out to give, because the way it's looking as if it wants to give an outlook of possibly we have a rising wedge information. It's looking like it wants to give us a head, a shoulder, a second head, and a drop. That's a possibility. May have that outlook. That's quite possible to have a head and shoulder and a drop. But technically, from all angles, I'm looking at selling the Euro USD. That's my outlook. And it can be done on 15 minutes or even on 4-hour. Because on 4-hour, if you look closely at this on 4 hour, so if you're a swing trader, you can look at trading it later. But for day traders, this may break out faster. For swing traders, this is a rising wedge, is a perfect rising wedge, which price is expected to break out, then do a much more massive breakout. So it's bearish from all angles, from swing and day trade. So if you're a day trader, I will encourage you look at the 15 minutes for entry. Now, forming a head and shoulder is not really mandatory. It's just it may form it, it may not form it, but technically I'm expecting a breakout from this area. So let's look at something closely. If we draw our Fibonacci, okay, we may be looking at making an entry around Fibonacci 23.6 and taking profit at Fibonacci 50. Okay, that's 16 pips. That's a little bit small, except we're looking at, okay, let's do that. So I'll drop a signal on this now. Euro USD. This is more like scalping though. Euro USD sell stop at at 1.10344. Take profit at 1.10174, and the stop loss, we use the most recent highs on few pips, 1.10508, 1.101, 10508. All right, so you can take this for Euro USD. All right, so I just dropped a trade call for Euro USD. You can take that and place the trade. It's just about 16 pips profit. So it's more like a scalping trade. I expect it to trigger, and in the course of the day, it's not really something too far away. Yes, I've dropped it in the chat box. IFIOC is just above you, but let me drop it again so that I can see it below you. So everybody can pick that up on the Euro USD. You have a sell signal on the Euro USD. All right, let's move. Let's make progress. All right, so next instrument I want to look at. Now, there's a lot of, bearish expectation across the Europeans. It's across board for the Europeans, either as day trade, swing trade, it's quite a lot of them this week. So the euros are quite weak. GBP USD is another instrument I want to look at. Though this one is still trying to form, it's still evolving. Let me use that word. Now, on the weekly time frame, we can see we have a pattern that looks a lot like a symmetrical triangle on the GBP USD, where a breakout above is a buy, a breakout below is a sell. But that aside, I'm seeing something else. I think I showed us this instrument last week. It's still evolving. I'm seeing a possible head and shoulder, which might lead to a breakout on the daily time frame. Now, two things can happen here. Earlier on in the course of last week, price was trading around. There was a trend, a resistance level somewhere. Okay, there was a resistance around this axis, but it broke above it. So the next thing I feel could happen is that price may hit this trend line before reversing, so that we now have the completion of the head and shoulder. So we are looking at price hitting that resistance, that trend line on the weekly time frame, then a decline and target this, lower trend line, because it will form the second shoulder of the head and shoulder pattern. So that's my view. So if I swing down to the 4 hour, now this can be taken in any way it comes, either as a swing or as a day trade. If it's a day trade, we'll look at the 1 hour time frame. So if it's a day trade, what we're looking at is price hitting this place, then dropping. So if that is the, outcome, no, can't be drawing that trend line that way. You have to draw it this other way. We might be having something close to this. Something close to this, then a decline. So, but we need to just keep our fingers crossed and see as this evolves, in the course of the week. But I'm bearish on the GBP USD. And if it doesn't work out as a day trade, it could work out as a swing trade, where on the 4 hour we will have price breakout downwards and we can capture the trade. So I'm bearish on Euro USD. I'm bearish on the GBP USD. All right, so the next one I want to look at is gold. Now, this is gold. If you go from the weekly time frame, we can clearly see that last week, if let's take it down again to daily, we can see there's a rising wedge pattern right from the weekly, which is also very visible on the daily time frame. We have a very, very perfect rising wedge. Now, when price trades within a rising wedge, this is the way the wave it moves. The next wave should be downwards. Should expect a downtrend to target this other lower trend line to make it, we have a higher high, the next should be a higher low. The next wave should be a higher low. So if we flip down to 4 hour and 1 hour, on 1 hour, what I'm seeing for me here looks a lot like a head and shoulder pattern, which should lead to a decline. And this just makes a lot of sense. We're looking at a bearish setup on the Euro USD. And Euro USD and gold oftentimes can be positively correlated. So it's still very much in line. So we'll be looking at a decline on gold. Let's go to 15 minutes again. It's still the same thing, very visible. We're expecting a decline, in the price of gold. So this region here would be the neckline. Either as a 15-minute trade or 1 hour is still very valid. So this is the neckline. So we have a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder, and a drop. And price is expected to drop at least to the Fibonacci 50, which should be around this region. All right, so I'm bearish on gold. Let's watch out as that breaks out. I think I want to give it more as a manual trade and not a sell stop. We'll keep watching, but it will break out eventually. Okay, next is the Euro card. Like I said, Euros they are just very weak this week. Euro card. Now, this Euro card, I would say this is more for swing traders. This particular setup should be more for swing traders. If you're a swing trader, you have something very, very good to look out for this week. Now, this is Euro card on let's go to the monthly. On the monthly time frame, we can clearly see that price is trading around a resistance level. All right, so technically we're looking for a decline in price. And if you zoom down to the weekly, to the daily time frame, this is clearly a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder. Then the next thing we're looking out for is a decline. So that's on the daily time frame. So a massive breakout is just forming on this instrument, and it's quite visible again on the 4 hour. So if you're there, a swing trader, don't miss this particular one. All you need is for price to break out below the trend line, and RSI should be below 50 at the point of entry. That's all you need. You need a breakout below the trend line with your RSI below 50, and you can trigger a sell on Euro card. This trade might span the entire week, so it's a swing setup, and this can generate on the average about 100 pips to Fibonacci 50, about 190 pips to Fibonacci 61.8, and about 295 pips to Fibonacci 78.6. So you're there, swing trader, don't miss out on this. This is a very, very good setup you can trade. It's a high probability setup on Euro CAD. All right, next I'll look at is the GBP CHF. And I gave us this setup last Friday or so. I gave us this setup last Friday. And I said I saw price trading around a support. This is a support zone. A support, turned resistance, and technically we expect a decline. Not only that, if we go down to 4-hour time frame, we can see that price is trending downwards on the 4-hour. We displace a confluence zone, which will lead to a decline. So if we zoom down to 1 hour, this is what we have at the moment. All right, so what I will want us to do is to wait where there's a minor support here. So if a new candle breaks out below this minor support, we can trigger a sell on GBP CHF. This is a day trade, so we're bearish on the GBP CHF. We're bearish on the GBP CHF on 1 hour. Euro AUD is another trade I'm looking at closely for this week. And it's quite similar to what we have on the Euro CAD. Like I said, we're expecting a lot of bearish movement on the Europeans this week. Now for Euro AUD, you can see on the monthly time frame, there is a decline that is being, this descending trend line, and price on the current month is touching it. You can see the descending trend line, price is touching it, even forming a rejection candle. That means we're looking for an opportunity to sell the Euro AUD right from the monthly time frame. On the weekly time frame, last 2 weeks closed as a rejection candle on that same trend line. That's the outlook of a possibility reversal also. And finally, we have a resistance zone right from the monthly time frame again, which will lead to a decline. 3 reasons. And finally, on the daily time frame, we can see the formation of a head and shoulder. Let me draw that again. Shoulder, head, second shoulder. Now, price has broken out below the neckline, but since it's a daily setup, daily time frame setup, I will advise you wait for price to, because this area on 4-hour can form a kind of a minor support where it is at the moment. So I will advise you wait for a new candle to break out below this current support level and trigger a sell. So I'm bearish on Euro AUD on 4-hour, just like I am on Euro CAD, also on the 4-hour. It's only Euro USD now we're looking at daily. Though it down to can evolve into a swing, but generally the Euro pairs are very weak. So as the breakout, anyone that you know you can trade first, you can trigger them. And finally, we'll look at GBP CAD. We're bearish on GBP CHF, don't forget. And also I'm bearish on GBP CAD. Okay, I'll make this one a little simple so that, because the way I drew before, it looks a lot complex. Now we have a resistance over there on 1 hour. and we have a descending trend line. I think that should just suffice for now, though there are other setups, but this should just suffice for now so that some of us don't get it confusing. And also all this happened around a major resistance on the weekly time frame, which also leads to a decline. So we have a resistance on the weekly time frame, and price is currently testing. You can see the blue line is resistance on the weekly time frame. That's where price is consolidating at the moment with a descending trend line and a rising wedge. So this is a confluence. We expect a breakout downwards. So I'm bearish on the GBP card. I'm bearish on the GBP card. All right, now we're all for this morning. For the benefit of those who joined a bit late, we are bearish on Euro USD. Currently, we already gave a signal on Euro USD for 15 minutes time frame. It's a scalping signal, just about 16 pips. You can start the week with that. 16 pips profit can do a lot with the current economy in Nigeria, depending on the lot size you're trading. So I actually encourage that you're conservative, with your trades. That's very, very important. It's part of risk management. So we're bearish on the Euro USD. We're bearish on the GBP USD. We're bearish on gold. We're bearish on the Euro card. We're bearish on JPCHF, Euro AUD, and GBP card. All right, so that'll be all from me. I can see people already dropping requests. I will attend to them one after the other as we round up this session. So Ogushola Clement is asking about gold. I already gave my view on gold. I'm bearish on gold, sir. MK USD CHF. Currently, USD CHF is selling, but ultimately, I believe it's going to reverse into some bullish movement because the long-term outlook on this instrument still stands. Whatever you're seeing now is a temporary movement. We still have this, even though it has not been playing 100% as expected, but this long-term bullish outlook still stands, which is a technically bullish one, and there's an inverse head and shoulder forming here. Probably in the month of September, that massive breakout will happen. But currently, that bullish setup is still holding very strong on the USD CHF. Yes, I quite agree that last week we closed as a rejection candle. There could be some decline, possibly to this support level. It's possible it may happen. It's a 50-50 though. It's not as if it's a guaranteed one. It may just drop to that level. But I'm more bearish. Euro USD is giving much more bearish outlook now. So if I'm bearish on Euro USD, I can't be bearish on USD at the same time. I can see the current candle now. It looks like there's already some retracement going back in the bullish direction. Though I'm not saying it's buying, but I hold more to a bearish outlook on Euro USD. That is more clearer now compared to what I'm seeing on the USD CHF. So if you're not on a trade on USD CHF, I would rather advise you look for an opportunity to sell Euro USD. And I've given a sell stop signal on the Euro USD. So for me, that works better for now compared to the USD CHF. Just a minute. All right, so that's it. That's my outlook on Euro USD. I mean USD CHF. I said I look more towards Euro USD. USD card, Mr. Barra. All right, so for USD card, price is actually trading around this trend line on the daily time frame. So if price is unable to break out below this trend line, I expect, a bullish movement. You can see we have a trend line here. Price touching the second time. This is the third time. Technically, we're looking for an opportunity to buy, provided price does not break out below. If price does not break out below, then the next thing we should see is a bullish movement. So we can flip down to 4 hour and 1 hour, depending on your trading style and the time frame that is comfortable or convenient for you. We may draw a trend line right there, and we can draw a second one right here as we anticipate a bullish movement on USD card. So I hold the bullish outlook on the USD card. GBP JPY. Now we had a bullish outlook on the JPY pairs last week, but for some reasons, maybe the fundamentals were not too strong enough. Many of them, virtually all of them, did not buy as expected. So maybe this week is a week they will buy. Let's just watch out, because the bullish sentiment on them is very, very strong. Very, very strong. This is my outlook. Currently, it looks as if it's trying to sell, but then I still want to hold on to that bullish outlook, because that's what the market is still saying. Okay, there's a support here. So I believe this is just a retracement, and I believe eventually price will still reverse into a bullish direction. All things being equal, though, if the volatility is strong this week, then we should see price really push up into the bullish direction on GBP JPY. However, if you want to trade this instrument, the best way is you wait for price to actually break out above this minor resistance level. Let me use a zone to identify it. And it's better traded as a swing setup. So that's my view, because eventually it now looks like it's going to form an inverse head and shoulder. Sorry, I didn't draw that very well. Then a breakout. So it's still going to break out. It's just currently retracing, getting ready for the eventual, massive breakout. So I hold a bullish outlook on the JPY. BTC, gold, Joshua, BTC. That's the BTC USD. And for BTC USD, what I'm seeing at the moment is a symmetrical triangle being formed on the daily time frame. That's what I'm seeing. So price can break out in either direction. You can see it's already in the midpoint. So if it breaks out downwards, it's a sell. If it breaks out upwards, it's a buy. So what you need to do is just to flip down to your safe time frame. You can see it if you're a swing trader. And I think this should actually work best for swing. It should work best for swing, since we're looking at it from the daily time frame, except if 1 hour is okay for you, you can do it on 1 hour also. But basically, price will have to break out of these trend lines for you to take, a trade. In any time, 15 minutes is a bit far. It's a bit far away. So I would suggest a 1 hour on the minimum. A 1 hour on the minimum. I think I've looked at USD card. So Mr. Barra, can you please drop the entry for us? I've dropped the entry for Euro USD. BTC USD, that's what I just analyzed now. It's a symmetrical triangle. Price can break out, either upwards or downwards. So we just have to wait and see what price will do. So wherever the breakout happens, that's where we take the trade. VACC John, this is looking like this name. I'm not too familiar with this name. Maybe he just joined us. So Mr. John, USD JPY. Just like the other JPYs, I hold a bullish outlook on this. I believe it will still, though it looks like a selling. I think that's a retracement because the long-term outlook on these instruments is still bullish. We have a powerful confluence there showing us a very strong bullish projection. So whatever is happening now can be categorized as a retracement. I believe price can see it's already retracing. I believe price will still reverse back into the bullish direction. So I still maintain my bullish outlook on the JPY pairs. And for this also, just like I mentioned on the GDP JPY, it will be safe to wait for price to break out above this resistance zone before you trigger a buy. So you can see we have a perfect trend line there, anticipating the bullish breakout. So I'm bullish on the, on the USD JPY likewise. Okay, if you're Unama, please reach out to your account manager, for the partnership meeting with FX Charles. Reach out. You need to reach out to your account manager. Your account manager will assist with that. Macaulay, AUDCHF. All right. AUDCHF is having a strong bullish sentiment. You can see on the monthly time frame, the current candle for the month is really, really massively a rejection candle. Sorry, I didn't do that well. Is that tiny candle with a long shadow. This is what I'm saying. This is what is happening on the monthly time frame, and price is touching the trend line, meaning we're expecting a bullish breakout. You can see we have a descending trend line here where price is making lower lows. So technically, we are going to be looking for a strong opportunity. I mean, we're looking for an opportunity for a very strong bullish breakout. You can see it's already going up. And on the 4-hour, it's forming what may look a lot like an inverse. It may drop a little further, but then eventually we'll see a very massive bullish breakout. So my view on this is a bullish breakout. It's not yet time to trade it. To be honest, trust me, it's not yet time. It's not yet time to take any trade on this instrument. Let it form properly. But I see a lot of the bullish breakout in formation. And when it happens, in fact, I'll tell you that if you're a swing trader, you want to wait for this, it's a kind of trade to wait for. It may take till next week before the breakout finally happens as massively as expected, because we're looking at the main candle from the monthly time frame. But I tell you, this breaks out, this will give a lot, and a lot of pips, a lot of pips. The recent profit could be as much as 270 pips on the minimum. It can be more than that. In fact, in the real sense, if this breaks out finally, to target this resistance up there. But like I said, it's not yet ready for a trade, for trading yet. It's not. It can come up as high as about, okay, this is going to be 248 pips. Okay, UAGCSF is not so volatile like that, but it's going to be a good setup. But you need to just be patient for it. You need to be patient for it. The other thing that will happen is that there's a support here. There can be some minor retracement that can be traded. If price hits this and comes down again a little, you can trade that as a sell, but eventually it will still break out upwards. So just relax, except if that person that is asking is on a trade. Trade and let me know so that I can give my view. But currently, I expect price to hit this trend line, decline a little, so that we'll have the second shoulder complete, then have the massive breakout. So that's my view on the AUDCHF. Okay, Mr. Adeni John. All right, thanks for clarifying that. Madam Onaji. Okay, Macaulay, I think you are responding to that AGCHF. Not yet. I wanted to. Okay, I believe you want to say we want to scalp for yes, for sell. Yes, just let price hit this support on resistance, then decline for you to take a sell. That's the best way. Don't try to sell from the current point. You can see it's already even trying to go bullish again. All right, Madam Monaji, DJ30, Rajo Akman, NAS 100. All right, so we'll close with these two indices. It's already 8 a.m. DJ30, NAS 100. All right. So for DJ30, I remember giving us a bearish outlook on this last week, and I said it was going to sell from this region, and it did. All right, so that worked out as planned. So what do we have? I think that should be on Friday, Thursday or Friday thereabouts. I can't remember. So what's happening this week? Price is still around that same trend line. I mean, yeah, trend line is still, we're still expecting that decline. Let me go to the daily. Let's not just look at the 4 hour. Let's go to the daily, possibly the weekly. Okay, daily, weekly. Okay, good. On weekly, we still have this resistance at this point. So we have that resistance. All right, so we have the resistance on weekly, daily. On daily, we are having like a triple top. Even though it's a descending trend line, it looks a lot like a triple top pattern, which will lead to a decline with the resistance. That's a double confirmation for a decline. All right, so that's on the daily. So on 4 hour, 4 hour, 1 hour, okay. On 1 hour, this is what I believe will happen. We have a rising wedge on 4 hour, a very confirmed rising wedge pattern. So what I think will happen is this. This region here, let me use the zone, will likely act as a support, and price may have to break that level before you can we can see a further breakout. This is what I mean. This may look eventually like a shoulder, a head, second shoulder, and a final decline. That's what it may eventually look like. And for that to happen, price will have to touch this minor support first and bounce off before we have a final breakout. Though there's a lot of volatility in the market, price could break through straight, but then let's just look at it more initially as trying to form a head and shoulder, then a decline. So either way it happens, I'm holding a bearish outlook on DJ30. And finally, NAS 100. For NAS 100, let's also start from the daily. All right, on the daily, we have a support. We have a support, formed resistance. Technically, we're expecting a decline. So we zoom down to 4 hour, we still have our support turned resistance, still a resistance here. And on the 4 hour, this is already forming a double top pattern, which will also lead to, a decline. So if we zoom down to 1 hour, we can draw our trend line. The second one, let's try this. Okay, this looks better. All right, so we have a rising wedge pattern, and this is a double top, which is still a formation. But then if price breaks out below it, it will trigger a massive sell. So on this one also, we still have the neckline, which is this area. So we're expecting price to break below the neckline to trigger a sell. So I'm bearish on the NAS 100. So Madam Wanaji asked about DJ30. We're bearish on DJ30. Mr. Raju asked about NAS 100. We are equally bearish on NAS 100. All right. Yeah, thank you, Blessing. That's just the truth, and that's why I always tell people don't miss this, because it's not just about the signal, it's not just about the analysis, but really teaching, this concept, so that you can always do these things by yourself, at your own convenience. So thank you all for attending to this analysis. Don't forget our bootcamp session is still running. It's a 6-week training, which we started last week. It runs on Sundays, Wednesdays, Fridays. We had the first week, the last week, Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. We had a session yesterday. You can join us again this week, Wednesday. The sessions are always in the evening, so that people who go to work can still join, and that's 7 p.m. We're all the 7 p.m. And our physical classes on Tuesday and Thursday still continues. So if you're in Lagos or it's environ, you can always join us for the physical sessions. And for this bootcamp also, we're running Saturday training now for this bootcamp season, 6 weeks, Saturdays. So if your job schedule does not allow you to come for physical training during the course of the week, then you can join us on Saturday, strictly in Lagos and Abuja. So you can find yourself in our Abuja office or Lagos office, so that you can get trained. And don't forget our live trading session, NFP, is the next one. Is coming up the first Friday of September. Now, you don't want to miss our live trading session. It's always massive, with massive results. So join us on the first Friday in September. That's about 2 to 3 weeks from now. That's the 6th of September. Plan towards it. Make sure you have a funded account. This is very important, because we're not playing. We're not playing that day. We're making money. So it's not a day for demo account. If you're a demo account holder, please, maybe you just excuse us. It's for people with funded accounts. So if you don't have an account up till now with us, just go over right now to our website, www.puprime.com, and open a live trading account. Open it immediately. Get your account verified. You can reach out. Once you open an account, the account manager will reach out to you. They can guide you through the entire registration process. So make sure you have your account verified, and join us for the live trading session. When you open your account, you can talk to your account manager. If you have bonuses running at that period, you can take advantage of that. Though terms and conditions do apply, they can take advantage of that to also boost your trading account. All right, that will be all from me for today. So take care and have a great week ahead. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. We are very grateful.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, sir.